Hello everyone, George here, and we're back again with my implementation of Five Nights at Freddy's. And from the last video, we had started tweaking the doors and getting their heights proper. However, it looks like I made a few mistakes. One of those mistakes is that I was not actually moving all of the doors into the right position, so we're going to have to fix that really fast. Another mistake is where the pivot points for some of these doors actually are. So let's go ahead and do local pivot point, and let's see an example here. Well, not center, I want to do pivot. So we can see the pivot of this door is way over here, so rotating about that's going to be not so good. So we need to fix all those issues as well. So now we're back in Maya. Let's take a look real fast. I'm going to go ahead and hide all of the stuff around here so that I just see the doors themselves for the most part. So now we can go over here. We've got our world, and at some point I had also pulled a door out, which is another mistake. So we're going to need to fix that. So let's go ahead and do, let's copy that name, Control C. Let's go to Edit, Ungroup. There we go, double click that, Control V, paste that in as door 9, move that into world, so at least that's correct. And I'm going to now take a look here. We've got our doors. So there's all of them. I'm going to go into a side view by pressing the space bar and right click, go to vertex mode. And let's see here really fast. Which one do I want to mess with? So this one needs to be pulled down to right there. We've got to do the same thing here for this one. Let's pull that down there. And is that no, that's an arcade cabinet. This is a door. So we're going to grab the verts on that and pull them down. And just looking elsewhere, I don't see any other doors that are going to be a problem. Great. So I'm going to save that. F8 to get out of that mode. Let's go to display, show all. Now we have our level back. Now I'm going to take a quick look here and just see if there's any kind of naming convention. I guess there's really nothing that I need to worry about at the moment. Everything's just kind of named very poorly. We're going to do door underscore 0 underscore 11 for now, and that's probably going to work. So let's go ahead and grab the world. I'm going to do an edit, delete by type, history. Going to also, we need to change the pivots. So let's grab all the doors really quick, and let's just do a modify center pivot on each one. So now everyone's pivots in their center. And we're going to go through now and change these to be on one of the sides. So let's see, when we open up this door, I'm going to put it over, whoops, escape, hold down the D key, snap there, V key to move it over. And same thing with this one, D, snap, V, frame up, D, snap, V, grab this one, D, snap, V, and let's see, how many doors do we have? Quite a few. Whoops, did I screw that up? Nope. D snap V. D snap V. Let's see, W, D, snap V. And let's see, D, middle mouse click over there. There we are. No doors over there to play with. Let's see. And there's that one. Almost done here. And let's go shading, turn off X-ray mode so I can see what the heck's going on. And let's grab all the doors really fast. I guess I don't want to grab them all. That's one that we didn't do. So slide that over. What about you? Yes. You. I think we're good. Both bathrooms. Yes. And I think that's it. Okay, great. Save. Let's go to World, File, Send to Unity, Selection. And am I in the right project folder? No. So let's go ahead and set that up. So File, Send to Unity, Select, or Set Unity Project. And this is the correct project. So select. Now I can grab it. File, Send to Unity, Selection. And look for, let's see, we're under I'm in the wrong thing. Still. File, Send to Unity, Set Unity thing. We don't want to be here. We actually want to be in A Night at Georgie's. Select. Now we can do our thing. File, Send to Unity, Selection, and let's go under Test, Free Roam Layout. Double click that, hit yes. Let it all go over. And now let's take a look over in Unity. All right, let it bring it in, process. And now everyone should be fine. Are we not fine? Let's see. The colliders are kind of screwed up. So let's grab all of the doors again. we're going to go over to, let's see, actually, I don't see any colliders on them. Oh, they're okay, that's a box collider. Let's grab all of these ones, remove the colliders, and just re-add a box collider to them. Grab the last one, add a box collider to it, select them all, make sure that the colliders are proper, and I think that works for us. Great. So now we have doors. Now we need to rotate the doors and open them up. So the way this is going to work is we need it to implement with our current system. So the question now is, how do we want to interact with the door? Is it a one click and the door opens all the way? Are we going to allow the player to click on the door and try to open it slightly so it's more of a, you can kind of peer through the door and you can peek through it? I actually kind of like that idea that you would click on the door and then you get to peek. So in order to do that, I need to take a look at how I've implemented things so far with the game, because I can't quite remember. So we've got our Vive controller left and our Vive controller right. We have a Vive device tracker and we have Vive controller left. Let's open that up. And I want to see, there's the interactable stuff that we had created before. I want to continue to work with that. The idea is that you'll select the door and then the door will take into consideration where you clicked it and then moving your hand forward or backward, I guess. Let's see here. So we do have on use start, on use stay, on use end, and triggers as well. Fusible object. Then we can do that. All right, so what do we have? We have the controller. So we have the door itself. And I'm guessing I'll put like a little panel on the door, and that's going to be also where a box collider is. You put your hand into that, and this is going to have a usable, God, I can't write with this mouse, a usable on it. So you do that, you click, and that's going to do what? On use start, I guess. So if usable does not equal null, usable object.use. So if that happens, then the door is going to take whatever object has hit it. Do I send the object? I do send the controller. Okay, so we do get that. So the controller gets sent to the usable object. The usable object is then going to see where the controller's world space coordinates are. And we're going to do like an angle thing, I guess, where it'll take its current position, and that's going to be the zeroed out angle. And then as you move the door forward, it's going to calculate what the amount of rotation the door should actually have, and then give that much rotation. And then I guess that's going to be on use stay. Although I don't really need that. I just need start and end. This can be ignored. And then end is where you unclick it, in which case the door ends up being wherever it should be. Okay, let's give it a go. Why not? So we'll create a new script, and let's call this C# script, and we'll call this swinging door. Or what about door swinging? Okay, where are you, door swinging? Door Vive controller. Okay, perfect. Move that over. Let's grab some doors really quick and put this script on them and make this happen. So add component, door swinging. Great. Move this over here. So this is going to inherit from usable. So let's take a look at usable really fast. Usable, or let's see, usable light, usable, all kinds of stuff. Is there no base class? No, there is. Usable. So where is it? Powered, comma, usable. Use, blah. Where's the base class? Is it under use manager? Yeah, okay. That's kind of dumb, possibly, for me to do that. What was the use manager doing anyway? Okay, I'm not really sure why I have a use manager at all. I think this is completely unnecessary at this point. Usable is necessary. Really, I kind of want to rip this out and make it its own class. So let's do that really fast. So where's all this stuff? Main menu, scene, scripts. Let's create a new C# class, call this usable. And of course, it's not a class, it's an interface, but you get what I'm trying to say here. So there's usable, the new one. Here's interface usable. We're going to grab that and replace this with that. And we should be good to go there. No problems. Coming back over here, clear it out. The namespace global already contains. I thought I cleaned that out. Let's try this again. Save that script as well. Get rid of that error. Please, please. There we go. Now we've got our separate use class, which just makes my life easier. We're going to move this to the side for the moment. And here's door swinging. It inherits from mono behavior, and it is going to implement usable. Save it, and now it's going to give us some crap saying, hey, you need to implement those methods. So we're going to click here and implement the interface. So now we get all of these ones. I'm going to move them to the bottom. Great. So our door swinging. We are going to have a collider on the door so that when you hit the collider, it will make stuff happen. So let's grab all the doors really fast. I'm going to add a component. I'm going to add a box collider. This is going to be triggerable, and I'm going to try my best to see if this works. So no, we're not doing that. So let's make all of them smaller. So I want them to just be like at the center of the door. We're going to try to make them, whoa, yeah, it didn't work. All right, we're going to have to do some of these individual. You two, you, not you, not you, not you. Trying to find all the doors that are facing the same direction. It'll make more sense in just a second because I'm going to manipulate all their values at the same time. Okay, so now we've got this here. We've got our Z size, which is fine. X size, it says it's different on each one. We're going to make that smaller. We're going to move the whole thing over in the X. Oh boy, that didn't work. You see that? That did not work at all. Can we undo that? Can I? No, it's not going to let me do it. All right. We are going to have to do this one at a time, possibly. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it in the center so we're not wasting our time here. And where's the other doors? Is the last ones, I think. This one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Not that one. Okay. So all of them need, what is it, the Z? Whoops, wrong box collider. Need what, X? No, Z. There we go. And I really do want to move this over. So let's correct for those ones. So let's unselect those two. And now let's move them over for these ones. Okay. That probably has to do with the orientation of the actual door based on when I actually created it, most likely. So that's on me. Actually, I don't know where the pivots are on some of these, so I'm probably putting these in the wrong place. I've got nothing to define where the pivot is, so I'm doing some dumb things. That's all I'm going to say right now. Okay. Somewhere there. Somewhere there. That one's bad, and that one's bad. So let's move those over. Oops. Keep screwing that up. put it somewhere over there. All right, that's close enough. So now we've got colliders that are triggers, right? They're all triggers. Double check. We all got triggers going on. Great. Coming back over here. So we swing into the door, we hit it. Let's see. So we get the game object that hit us, which is going to be the controller, basically. So what do I want to do? User dot get component. Why is my keyboard not working? I'm going to get component. We're going to do Vive controller. There really shouldn't be a controller left and a controller right. There should just be a single controller. What is the difference at the end of the day? Okay, these are different. That's different. All right, I don't want to do this, but screw it. We'll do it anyway. I almost want to have like a base class for them. I'm going to grab that. Temp is equal to that. So we're going to grab that, test if it's null. Do the same thing here, but for the right one. And temp left, temp right. If temp L is equal to null, or does not equal to be null, then do a bunch of stuff. And I mean, this could be an else if check. I don't know. If temp R does not equal to be null. The reality is when we get the object, it's going to be one or the other. So this should be a test. So if this happens and this has to happen, I could just have a return statement in here. That way left gets processed and then ends and doesn't have to process the right one. Okay, so what are we doing then? We need to hold some information, right? So we need to know the position. We have reference to the object, so we should probably store that. So we should say, what do we want to do? Transform user is equal to null. I don't want it to be the controller. I want it to be something else. So if this is it, then we're going to do temp L dot transform. I'm going to store that. What are you giving me crap for? Cannot implicitly convert. What is user? Is it transform? Dot game object dot transform. What? What's the problem? The game object, this component is attached to. Cannot implicitly convert type Unity engine dot transform to Unity engine dot game object. Users being used right there. That's the problem. Okay, so this dot user. There we go. We're going to do the same thing down here, except it's going to be temp R. Now we have the transform, so then when we do our updates, we can properly work with it. Now, hold on a second. This is under use end, which is the wrong one. So let's put this under use start. So we've grabbed it. Under use end, we're going to do something very similar, where we're going to figure out who decided that it's done, and then we are going to clear out the... you know, we don't even need to figure that out. It doesn't, well, hold on a second. I'm trying to think. If we're ending this, we only want to end it if it is the object that has started it. We don't want some other ending to occur and potentially stop something that shouldn't have been stopping. What do I mean by that is if in some weird situation, another controller object hits this object and then it unclicks, like if I have the right controller and the left controller, right? And I stick one in and then I click and hold, but then I stick the other controller in and I click, hold, and unclick, that could potentially turn off what's happening with my other controller. Don't want that to happen. So instead, I'm going to make sure that it's okay for us to do that. So the first thing I actually need to do is first make sure this object isn't already being used. So to find that out, we need to test to see if this.user is equal to null. So we're going to do if this.user is equal to null. And we'll wrap all that up nicely. Great. Now, this.user is equal to null. This can't happen. Now, what we want to have happen is inside of end, we want to do a check. We want to see if this.user does not equal to null. We don't need to do this if it is equal to null because there's nothing to end. And then what we want to do is test to see whether or not the object, the transform, this.user is equal to what's going on in here. What I mean is we grab this object, and if temp L is equal to this.user, then we're going to turn this.user off. We're going to make it null. We reset everything. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. So this.user. We're going to do this here too. Okay, now we turn things off when they're supposed to be turned off, basically. So whoever starts things up has to be the one who also ends things. Otherwise, you won't be able to turn it off. Okay, so that's that. Now, there's the use stay thing, which I don't think I'm going to be using right now. But what we do want is in an update loop or a coroutine that starts, we want this thing to constantly be doing some sort of calculation. And actually, a coroutine might be the easiest thing for us to do. We can store the coroutine and then turn it off at a later time. So we're going to do an IEnumerator. I'm just going to call this current coroutine. And that's equal to null. And current coroutine is going to happen once use start occurs. So under use start, current coroutine is equal to start coroutine, and then that's calculate door angle, what we'll call it. We'll do the same thing down here and here. And start coroutine. Oh, that's wrong. I'm wrong. I need to do a unityengine.coroutine is the type. There we go. And actually, I don't need that. So now the coroutine is going to be stored, and I'm going to be able to turn that, stop that coroutine if necessary. So up here, current coroutine is going to happen. Inside of end, use end, we are going to turn that coroutine off. So current coroutine dot, actually we want to do what? Stop coroutine, and then we're going to pass in the coroutine. And technically I could do a test to see whether that is null. We'll leave it for right now. We'll see if that becomes a problem. Okay, so current coroutine is equal to that, blah, 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 blah. That happens as well. So let's do the function calculate door angle. We'll do a private or protected, whatever. Protected, calculate door angle. And this needs to be an IEnumerator type, IEnumerator. And we are going to have it taken nothing for value. And what we do need to do is store some information. So we have where we click on the door, the initial point, so P0 more or less, and then you're going to move your hand, which is going to, go all over the place, up, down, left, and right, and that's going to be, P1. We want to take this vector here that you have and compare it to this vector here, and to see how much of an angle we should actually put inside of this thing. And that will be what we need. So we need to store P0 to begin. So let's go ahead and do that. P0. Let's do a vector, I guess. So vector 3, P naught. Great. And we'll just do null. And grab that. I can't do null. Okay. That's fine. So P naught is equal to vector3 dot 0. We'll just do that. Initialize it to 0. Now, when we do use start, we're going to want to grab that value. So P naught is going to be equal to the initial location, and that's going to be this dot user dot position. We're going to do the same thing down here. Okay. You put that P there. Now calculate door angle. We're going to have a giant while loop until this coroutine is told to end. So while true, which is good enough. Remember, the coroutine is going to get killed externally from everything. So we need to do a comparison. So what I need to do is think of how much I need to rotate this thing by. And I believe I can use some quaternion stuff to do that. So let's think. Let's do quaternion dot, let's see. I want vectors. I want to take in vectors, 2 vectors from to rotation. Okay, so this will create a quaternion from one location to another. The first vector is going to end up being the pivot of the door, I believe. So it's going to be, so this is our door right here, and this is the pivot of the door. We're going to have P, we're going to have P naught, which is somewhere like there maybe. Or actually, you know, it's going to be more like here. That's going to make a vector like this. Now the problem is I really want that vector to be 0. I don't want that to be an actual angle. So I'm actually thinking maybe this won't matter. It's going to be this vector, and then it's going to be... Wait, will the vector always be from 0? I wonder. So then I have another vector from wherever my hand currently is. And that vector is going to go out to here. And I'm going to have this amount that I'm supposed to rotate. But really, I only want to rotate from here to this location. So maybe it is vector3.0, regardless of where the hand actually does the initial click. So then I can completely disregard it. So long as you click somewhere in there, that's all that matters. So we'll do from vector3.0 to our new angle, which is going to be, oh, and actually we need to constrain this, don't we? That's another thing. We're looking at this from above. We do not want the hand's Y position at all messing with this. So we need to project this into 2-dimensional space. The easiest way to do that is to just throw away the Y coordinate. Is to throw away the Y coordinate and make that 0, and then it just becomes an X and a Z thing. So we'll do that. That's going to require me to make a kind of small change. So we'll do a vector3 temp is going to be equal to, what do we want? We want this dot user dot position minus this dot transform dot position. So this door swinging's pivot is right here, and this is the position of where our hand currently is at. And that's creating a vector that goes from, here to here. Because when you subtract this vector A minus B, it makes a vector that goes from B to A. Yes. Okay, so then we're going to take temp now, And we're going to do temp.y is equal to 0.0f. So we get rid of that dimension, and then we're just going to put temp in there and save that. Now we need to set this equal to it, so we're going to do this dot transform dot rotation is going to be equal to, should that be local rotation? We're just going to do rotation is going to be equal to what we get from that. Okay, so there we go. And then we need a yield return null, so that it'll stop doing this calculation on that frame, go to the next frame, do the calc over and over and over and over again until we have end happen where it stops the coroutine. Okay, don't know if this is going to work. Just did that off the top of my head. So let's see what we've got going. Let's grab my controllers and grab the headset and give it a go. Oh boy. Okay, headset's on. I got some tracking. That's good. Let's hit run. See what happens. We got a nice game over. Okay. Now I'm moving. I believe. Now I should really. Am I getting any errors yet? Now it's an on trigger. I can't get through the doors. It's going to be over here or it's going to be over there. And this is really hard to test without any help. So let me see. Yeah, before I just jump in there. Okay, so first of all, I had it on the wrong side. So it is over there on that side. The next thing is I really should be printing stuff out. And also do the doors. So the doors all have door swinging, which are usable objects. So that's good too. Okay, so let's print out that these actually occur. So we're going to do a debug.log log, and we're going to do door swinging use start. Grab that line, copy it, bring it up here. We'll do end. And then we will grab that, and we'll also inside the coroutine, we'll do a debug.log, and we're going to print out the rotation that we have. Whoops. There we go. All right, so now we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, I'm in. I'm trying to see. Let's see, it might. Okay, so what do we have? Door swinging use start, door swinging use end, Unity debug 0000000. So my math is probably all wrong, huh? So we got a whole bunch of messages. So I click down and hold, and we can see it's not moving with me. Well, you can see that it's definitely doing door swinging use start. Am I getting updates to? I am getting 001 constantly as a solution right here. So it is doing the calcs inside of here. So we should probably see what this value is first. So we'll do a debug.log. Actually, we're going to get rid of that and do temp to see what we're getting out of this thing. And we'll do, there we go. Vector, angle vector. I want to make sure we're not getting like a 0 value right off the bat that's screwing everything up, because it's very possible. Very, very, very likely. Okay. All right. Come here, turn you off. Save you again, just to make sure. Hit run. Grab a controller. Not sure which one I have. There we go. And, whoa. Okay. So angle vector, we're actually getting values, which is nice. You know what, let me turn off collapse. There we go. Now I can see what the heck's going on. All right. Where's my hand? Where is my hand? There it is. So what I don't understand is why the number doesn't change. So I click it. An angle vector is staying consistently the same. This dot transform dot position, this dot user dot position, this dot user is this user, which should be the controller itself, right? That's what gets stored here. Okay, there we go. I had some slight changing there in the angle vector, but it's minuscule. Why is that so small? Let's just print out this dot transfer user, this one right here. Try that. Why is that value not changing more? Is it because I'm not getting tracked? Is that it? Let me try now. Why is that such a small number? Why does the float value have such low precision? That's the other thing I don't understand. If I do dot x, do I get a bigger number? Or a longer number? Okay, yeah, that has plenty of precision. It's just that it doesn't get printed out as having a lot of precision. So it's not that. So then vector3.temp should be temp.x.toString plus bam bam u. Oh my gosh, I'm messing everything up. I want to print this out with a lot more precision so I can see what's happening. All right. All right, it's in, pulling it in and out. I'm getting lots of variation in the value, so that's good. Of course, the quaternion is still 0. And I know exactly why it is. The vector needs to not be vector.0. This should be pointing off to the side of the door, which is going to be the right vector. Because I'm an idiot. I'm a fool. I am so stupid. When you get zeros, it's probably because you stuck zeros in there. Look at that. Door open. I can only open it so much because I'm losing tracking on the thing, but check it out. There we go. Let me go into VR now, actually put this thing on my head. So here's the door. I'm gonna grab it. There we go. It's a little touchy because if I go too fast, I go outside of the collider. See? Actually, I don't know why, but it just stopped right there. So what I'm probably going to want to do is lock that and not have it be based on staying in the collider, but the coroutine continues to exist until you stop holding down the button. Now that's different than how this stuff was working before. So let me think about that. So where's usable? Here's usable right here. And we have the right controller. Yeah, this is not necessarily how I want it to work. So here's these. So this is interesting. So on button down right trigger, on button down left trigger. That is what makes all this stuff work. So then why on trigger enter, on trigger stay, and on trigger exit am I doing usable stuff? This is causing everything that I'm doing to have two conditionals. I not only have two failure modes. I can fail via this stuff, or I can fail by accidentally moving outside of the thing. And I really want to break these apart and not have them do that. So really I shouldn't have, usable is fine. It's just on trigger crap that kind of needs to change. This needs something else. I need something also not usable. So usable is going to be in the form of interaction. Then there's going to be like hover. So let's create another interface for hovering, I guess, and then move the triggering stuff into hovering. So I'm guessing how we're going to do this. So scripts, create C# script. We're going to call this hover. I don't know what I'm doing right now. This could be really wrong. We're going to find out. Actually, you know what? This video is going on 40, almost 50 minutes long before I cut it down. So I'm going to cut this video right now. And in the next video, we're going to jump right into what hovering is and how we're going to make that all work. Okay? Thanks everyone for watching. Hope to see you next time. So long and goodbye.